Saturday night in the world, and I'm sitting here in the sleeper berth of my truck. Back in Laredo, Texas. Took some load up to Dallas, Irving area. Stayed the night up there at the terminal up there, and now I'm back here in Laredo. It's a rainy Saturday night, and it's rained all day long. And I just spent the whole day listening to an audiobook about life in minor league baseball, so I kind of got my thoughts away from that, which is nice. Well, I talked with my mom yesterday, and she wished me happy birthday, and she says something about like how I sounded really down in the dumps. I'm like, not really. I wasn't in a bad mood the last time I posted on Facebook Live. I was feeling reflective, which, means I don't speak in a really upbeat kind of voice. I'm just, thinking thoughts as I go. So, Mom said, I threatened to talk about her the entire next Facebook Live thing I did. So, she said, fine. Oh, okay. Throwing down the gauntlet there, Ma. So I'm going to talk about my mother a little bit. My mother is Arletta, and she's not, her name is Arletta. Her real name is Esther Arletta, which is interesting because my wife's name is Esther Locascio. So in years past, Esther, the wife, would get mail intended for Esther, the mother. And one time, went to a clinic in Rockford, Illinois, and they brought up Esther the mother's files, and they're like, wow, you're looking really young for being 60-something years old, as she was at the time. And so, yeah, there's that. It's nothing Oedipal, though. I don't believe in that. They're not alike. They get along really well, Esther the wife and Esther the mother, but Esther the mother is about a foot taller. I get my height from Esther the mother, and Esther the wife is she's how do I put this nicely? Esther the wife is a lot more diplomatic than any of us Locascios. She has a lot more tact and thought for people's feelings. While as Esther the mother, she and Greg the son, we're just like bulls in a china shop. We just kind of do our thing and let the chips fall and deal with it and rant and go on and deal with it and move on. And I definitely got that aspect of my personality from my mother. But I've definitely learned a lot about tact and diplomacy from Esther the wife. Another mom story, and I know that there's a lot of people on Facebook that are old drum corps friends, and there was my mom when I was in drum corps when I was a teenager. She volunteered. She was a sewing lady, and she helped out with the kitchen as well. And my mom, she has this dish that I love. It's a goulash dish where you take like ground beef and tomato sauce and green beans and spices and garlic and stuff. Have that in the bottom of the pan, and then you have like a baked potato or mashed potato mixture with garlic and stuff on top, and then you bake that in the oven so that the top of the baked potato gets kind of crispy, and then it's all nice and hot underneath. And my mom made that for the drum corps meal one time, and it just looks funky. It's all this like beef and green beans and mashed potatoes, and when you mix it all up, it's just a big blah. And they called it Arletta's Surprise. And some people were a little bit taken aback by it, and some people hated it, some people liked it. But she is forever known as the maker of Arletta's Surprise. So that's what, years later I've had people meet me and, how's your mother doing? Oh, I remember Arletta's Surprise. And to this day, speaking of my mom, she is an active sewer. She spends hours and hours every day now, which it doesn't seem like anybody's sewing, but she's 77 years old. She's almost blind, and she still manages to sew, and she does it quite well by feeling and by hearing. When she's using the sewing machine, she counts her stitches by listening, and she still does a really good job. In fact, I sleep with the quilt that she's made, and she's made this in recent years, and she makes quilts now, and she has them shipped to needy families overseas. There's some charity organization that she donates quilts to, and she does most of this quilt making entirely by, like I said, by feeling and by hearing, and she is compensated for her lack of sight. She's also compensated for her lack of hearing by, using a good hearing aid, having a phone, and that adapts, and she's managed to make adaptations to the things that like her hearing and seeing difficulties, which I find inspiring. So, Mom, that you inspire me to make the most and the best of what I have by how you've adapted to the difficulties that have been presented to you in life, and that's a wonderful thing. And then the other mom thing that I am the most inspired by is, I'm a restless soul. I'm always got to be active and busy and doing things and going places, and that's definitely my mom. So she has always been a busybody, and when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to just sit around and do nothing. If I was sitting around in the basement on a beautiful day watching television and vegging out, Mom would come down and get up and get out of here, and she'd motion me and kick me out the door and make me go outside. And in retrospect, that turned out to be a wonderful thing. I was mad when she'd interrupt a program that I was watching or something, but I'm grateful now because Mom kicked me outside. And how's this for such a throwback? Before cell phones, I'd be out playing with the neighbor kids and playing capture the flag and kickball and horse and kick our own version of football, two-hand touch or whatever. Actual activities, looking people in the face, talking. I don't see that much anymore, and then when it was time for dinner and time for me to come home, my mom would go out to the front porch and yell, "Greg, supper's ready!" And I'd hear her 2 blocks away because we're a loud family. So there's thoughts of Mother. I know she watches these, and this is a way for me to connect with her when I'm on the road and with other people. My wife and my son don't see these because she's not on Facebook and he's not on Facebook, and so they can't check out this Facebook Live, but I kind of give them the summary, of what I want. So there you go, Ma. This one's for you. Love you. You're the greatest. You rock. I can't wait to have some more of our lettuce surprise. Beats this trucker food. Bye.